Hello, welcome back. Today we are talking about something that honestly I think it's what I'm most passionate and excited about right now, and that is aging, health span, and longevity. Since kind of finishing up reaching my baseline aesthetic goals a while ago, I've just been diving deeper and deeper into the longevity and health span space because I just have more space to incorporate that into my life when I'm not focusing on aesthetics, and it's just, I love it. And the reason I think I'm personally so passionate about it is, I've always said this, like this is like my tagline, is like I want to not only be able to like look and feel good now, but also still like kick butt in my 80s. And that's kind of always been the why behind what I do. Like there's just so much that I want to do with my life. I want to be functional and be able to live my life to the fullest in my 80s. I want to be able to run around with my grandkids. I want to be able to travel and see the world. I want to keep learning and keep experiencing new things, and I want to be able to do this for as long as possible. This might be like a weird way to phrase it, but it feels right in my head. I want my life to be delicious, and it is harder to indulge in all of the beauty and wonder of the world when the diseases of aging are creeping up on you. So basically today what I wanted to do is make a video kind of covering the basics of aging, how it works, and then like very quick overview of a lot of the things that you can do to promote better health span and longevity. So how aging kind of happens is there's lots of stressors, whether they be internal stressors, environmental, chemical, biological, etc. Like any stressors on our body, they can cause damage to our cells through DNA damage, oxidative stress, telomere shortening, etc. And this leads to cellular senescence, which is a state where cells are still alive, they're still requiring energy, but they're not dividing anymore, they're not performing their actual function. And these senescent cells accumulate in tissues over time and secrete inflammatory cytokines. So basically, the more of these cells you have in your body, the more like low-grade inflammation you're gonna be experiencing. And inflammation itself is associated with various age-related diseases like cardiovascular disease and neurodegeneration. And these senescent cells can also impair the function of otherwise healthy tissues and organs. They can make tissue repair much more difficult for the body and basically interfere with the body's ability to maintain homeostasis. So like all in all, not great. And this is kind of what sums up to cause aging. So when you understand aging in this way, we can kind of break down different ways to tackle aging. And you can kind of just tackle it from the top or from the bottom. So from the bottom would be getting rid of senescent cells in the first place, and then also increasing the production and function of healthy cells. And then tackling it from the top would be kind of stopping that process from starting. So decreasing stressors on the body and improving the body's resiliency to stress. So I'm gonna break down these 4 categories and give you like a super quick overview of some of the main things that you can incorporate into your life to help in all of these areas. But first I wanna say that one of the most important things in considering extending health span and extending lifespan is making sure you're enjoying the process along the way. Like living a lot longer but being miserable getting there, not the ideal outcome. It's really about finding your balance of living as well as possible, as long as possible. So if any of these are going to compromise your ability to enjoy life, then maybe not necessarily what you want to incorporate. So think through all these options and really choose what resonates with you. And start slowly. You don't have to do all of these things at once. You can implement habits in a slow, steady, sustainable way so you're not just like overwhelming yourself with all of the different things to improve longevity. If you start slowly and sustainably, it's gonna be a lot easier to keep that momentum rolling than if you try to do a bunch of things that you just hate doing. You're like, this is dumb, I give up. So let's start with some of the things that you can do to decrease senescent cells and cellular dysfunction. First is consuming foods with senolytics. Now, senolytic comes from the Latin senex, which means old, and lytic meaning destroying. So basically it's destroying old. So senolytics are substances that destroy senescent cells. The 2 biggest senolytics that you can find in foods are flavonoids, fisetin and quercetin. Both are yellow pigments found in plants whose job it is to protect the plant from environmental stressors like UV radiation or pests. And how they work is they can can essentially induce apoptosis or cell death specifically in senescent cells while sparing healthy cells. And it's thought that this process is through disrupting the pro-survival pathways that senescent cells have that keep them alive while they're not actually functioning. So fisetin, again, it's a flavonoid, and you can find it in things like strawberries, onions, apples, and cucumbers. And then quercetin, also a flavonoid. You can find it in things like green tea, capers, coffee, various berries, also apples, onions, broccoli, grapes, citrus fruits. So you can actively incorporate foods like these into your diet. But the concentration of fisetin and quercetin is quite low in fruits and vegetables. So what I also recommend considering adding in is Qualia Senolytic by Neurohacker, who is the sponsor for this video. Thank you so much to Neurohacker. They have created a senolytic that essentially comes in capsule form, and it's full of 7 different ingredients that are very powerful when it comes to fighting senescent cells and fighting aging. And it includes fisetin and quercetin, but in much more concentrated doses, so you're actually gonna get like a clinically effective dose of it if you take this. They've also worked really hard to improve bioavailability compared to food sources, so not only are you getting more, your body's gonna be able to absorb and utilize it better. And the cool thing about it is you don't take it every day, you only take it 2 days a month to get the powerful anti-aging benefits. Like all Neurohacker products, their formula is gluten-free, non-GMO, and vegan, and all of the ingredients are specifically put in there because they work synergistically. So they complement each other to help each ingredient actually work better than it would by itself. And this is one of the reasons I love Neurohacker so much, and I'm so stoked to finally be working with them, is their science is top level. And they go into all of it on their website. So if you have any questions about any of the ingredients or why they picked anything in particular, or want to read the actual studies behind all of the ingredients that they've selected, it's all on their website. So if you want to, you can really learn and understand why they're using the ingredients that they are and what each ingredient does. It's also backed by a 100-day money-back guarantee, so you have 3 whole months to try it out and decide for yourself. So you take it out and you have 12 capsules. It's 6 for day 1, 6 for day 2, and that's it for the month. And then it gives you some of the most powerful ways to eliminate senescent cells from your body. So I'm now taking it 2 days every month so that when I'm in my 40s, 50s, 80s, hopefully 90s, I'm still able to perform well, have energy, sleep well, feel good. It will help reduce the visible effects of aging. So it's gonna help fight things like wrinkles. And overall, it's just gonna help me live the life that I want to live for longer. I've already been taking Neurohacker's Qualia Mind and Qualia Skin products. In fact, I took Qualia Mind today so that I would just be like on point for filming. So adding the senolytic to my routine just kind of feels like an extra boost, especially after coming back from traveling, where I told you guys it was taking a big toll on my body, and it was putting a lot of those different kinds of stressors on my body that lead to the development and creation of senescent cells. So I feel like it just makes sense to add something into my life right now that will help combat that. And like I said, my mission has always been to help you not only look and feel great now, but also kick butt when you are in your 80s. And so if that is something that you want for yourself, then I do highly recommend Qualia Senolytic. So if you do want to check it out, go to neurohacker.com/fitandnerdy, where you can get up to 50% off, and then use the code FITAndNerdy to get another 15% off of your first purchase. I'll leave a link down in the description box below. Check it out. And the last thing that I want to add here for decreasing cellular dysfunction is sleep. During deep sleep stages, the body undergoes cellular restoration and repair. So it's the space that allows your body to repair and replace damaged, malfunctioning parts of cells, and also clear out waste products from the cells. Sleep is crucial for DNA repair mechanisms to function optimally. Cells repair DNA damage that accumulates throughout the day, reducing the risk of mutations and genetic instability. Sleep also supports the body's detoxification processes by enhancing the clearance of harmful metabolites and toxins from cells and tissues. This includes the removal of reactive oxygen species and other harmful molecules that can lead to cellular damage. So, go to bed.
Stop watching this video at 3 in the morning.
Pause it, save it to watch later, and come back tomorrow. Okay, next category, let's talk about how to increase the prevalence and function of healthy cells and increase cellular repair so that your cells can function optimally. The first thing is autophagy. Autophagy literally translates to self-eating, and this is where a double membrane structure called an autophagosome surrounds cellular components that are not functioning optimally, delivers them to lysosomes, which break them down and recycle them to be reused into new cells. So it's a cellular process that basically takes damaged cellular materials and cellular waste consumes it, breaks it down, and then makes those parts usable by the body. So where senolytics induce apoptosis or cellular death, specifically of the whole senescent cell, autophagy takes damaged parts within a cell and then breaks them down for recycling. So they do slightly different things in the body. And autophagy is best activated through fasting and exercise. So with fasting, essentially reducing your nutrient intake inhibits the mTOR pathway, which triggers the body to start the autophagy process. And then exercise triggers autophagy through depletion of nutrients as well as cellular stress. So as muscles work during exercise, they consume energy and generate reactive oxygen species, which activates AMPK and sirtuins, which in turn stimulate autophagy. The next thing you can do is consume a nutrient-rich diet. Micronutrients are essential for optimal cellular function because they serve as building blocks and energy sources required for various cellular processes and act as cofactors in enzymatic reactions crucial for cellular function. A nutrient-rich diet will also oftentimes include very helpful components like antioxidants and anti-inflammatory compounds, which also just boost cellular function. Next is appropriate supplementation, and I'm not going to go too far into this one, especially in this video, because it would take forever. Various supplements can help support your body in achieving optimal health through like such a variety of different ways. So this is really down to curating a supplement protocol that is tailored to your body. Next, we have red light therapy. Red light therapy improves mitochondrial health and cellular function by exposing cells to specific wavelengths of red light. This light can enhance the function of the electron transport chain in mitochondria, leading to increased production of ATP, which is the cell's primary energy source. And the last thing here again is sleep. So not only does sleep help decrease cellular dysfunction, but also it helps improve cellular function. During sleep, the body synthesizes proteins essential for cellular repair and growth. Sleep also influences the release of various hormones like growth hormone and melatonin, which influence cellular repair and antioxidant defense. So all of these things so far are going to kind of help reverse cellular aging by getting rid of senescent cells and just improving the health of cells overall. So now let's talk about things we can do to decrease the prevalence of the process of cellular senescence in the first place by reducing stress and increasing the body's resilience to stress. So when it comes to decreasing stressors, this is a whole list. It's practically infinite because there are so many different chemical, biological, environmental, mental, physical, etc. stressors on the body. So I would be here for another hour listing all of those. And maybe I should do an entire video dedicated to that in itself. Let me know if you want that. But dietarily, some of the biggest things that you can do are to decrease your intake of processed foods, sugars, and inflammatory oils, because all of these things can add stress to the body in a huge variety of ways. You know, they can cause inflammation, they can lead to insulin resistance, and then eliminating any foods in particular that you are intolerant to is also going to get rid of a big stressor on your body. So if you're lactose intolerant, I'm sorry, getting rid of the ice cream could be a big step in the right direction. And then we have managing mental stress. And again, there's so many different ways to do this, from meditation, journaling, to therapy, etc. But managing your stress is going to help decrease cortisol, which is going to lower inflammation, which just means you're going to be putting less stress on your body that can result in cellular senescence. Then you also have environmental toxins to consider, so things like your household cleaning products. Most conventional cleaning products are full of things that the body doesn't like them, to put it gently. They have things in them that are toxic to your body, and thus being around them, breathing them in, is going to add stress to your body. And then also your skincare products and your makeup products. Most conventional products also have things that are very toxic to your body, and your skin absorbs like 60 to 70% of what you put on it. So just because it's on the outside of your body doesn't mean your body's not absorbing it and having to deal with the stress of detoxing that from your body. So you can make the switch to cleaner cleaning products as well as cleaner makeup and skincare. And when it comes to makeup and skincare, I highly recommend going to ewg.org/skindeep. This is a database where you can just look up pretty much any product and see the level of toxicity in it and whether or not you might want to be putting it on your skin. And then lastly, we have the big and hopefully obvious toxins, but I feel like they should at least be briefly mentioned in here. Smoking and alcohol, just not good for you. Gonna cause lots of cellular damage. Straight poison. Avoid.
Stop it. Get some help.
Quitting smoking and reducing alcohol intake are probably two of the biggest things that you can do to slow the aging process. You don't necessarily have to quit alcohol entirely, but the more you can reduce it, the better. And there's a lot more things that we could talk about when it comes to decreasing stressors on the body, but this is a good start. Now let's talk about how to increase the body's resiliency to stress so that when you do encounter stressors in life, your body is better able to handle them and they will essentially contribute less to cellular senescence. So the way to increase resiliency is through hormesis. Hormesis is defined as a dose-response phenomenon characterized by low-dose stimulation and high-dose inhibition, and has been recognized as representing an overcompensation for mild environmental stress. In plain English, this means that when certain small stresses are placed on the body responds in a much bigger and positive way that elicits a big positive adaptation. A great example of hormesis is exercise. When you exercise, it is a stressor on the body, but the body adapts to it in a very positive way. Resistance training in particular acts as a hormetic stressor by subjecting the body to controlled moderate stress during workouts, and this stress induces adaptations such as increased muscle strength, improved muscle function, and enhanced cardiovascular health. And these physical improvements in turn make the body more resilient to various forms of stress. Another great hormetic form of exercise is high-intensity interval training, or HIIT. HIIT promotes adaptations such as improved cardiovascular fitness, increased mitochondrial biogenesis, and enhanced insulin sensitivity. These responses not only support better metabolic health and cellular function, but also promote cardiovascular resilience. The next really cool hormetic stressor is hot-cold therapy, and these two therapies challenge the body's thermoregulatory systems, forcing the body to adapt positively. So sauna use induces a thermoregulatory response involving neuroendocrine, cardiovascular, and chitoprotective mechanisms that work in a synergistic fashion in an attempt to maintain homeostasis. So basically your body is working hard with various symptoms to regulate your body temperature. And this process mimics physiological and protective responses induced during exercise and increases heat shock proteins, which are widely distributed in cells and participate in a variety of cellular processes to keep cell integrity, maintain protein homeostasis, and response to stress. Then we have cold therapy, which you can get through cold showers, cold plunges, cryotherapy, etc. And this activates cold shock proteins, which help with exercise recovery, reducing inflammation, wound healing, and have potential benefits for cancer and preventing tumor growth as well. Additionally, they help cells regenerate, support the immune system, improve your resilience to stress, and even protect your brain. So essentially, sauna and cold plunges are really freaking cool and great ways to boost longevity. And now we have one that I feel like is controversial and really shouldn't be. Like, people really need to understand this one because it would just solve so many wars in the nutrition space. Like, we could finally have peace if people actually understood that vegetables are essentially hormetic stressors. The carnivore camp and the anti-lectin camp and the anti-other vegetable camp. And there's a whole protest against kale right now. All of these people would have you believe that like certain plants are gonna kill you. Plants contain a lot of phytochemicals like lectins, oxalates, phytates. There's a lot of people right now crusading against these things because they are stressors on the body. But the thing is, in the right doses and for the right people, they are hormetic stressors. In appropriate doses, they are not toxic and actually induce beneficial stress responses in human cells. And of course, they can become noxious when consumed in large quantities, just like exercising too much or staying in the sauna too long. Probably not going to be very good for you. But that doesn't mean we should never exercise or never use the sauna. The dose makes the poison. And since this is controversial, I should just make a whole video on this, but I will say that the caveat is that this applies mostly to healthy people. If you have autoimmune issues or other health issues, these type of phytochemicals can just add too much stress because your body already has a lot of stress. Your stress bucket is already full trying to cope with the autoimmunity or cope with the gut issues. And so when you add phytates or any other hormetic stressors, not just vegetables, on top of all of this other stress, then you get too much stress and you start getting a reaction, which is why so many people do benefit from going carnivore or cutting out lectins or cutting out oxalates, etc. But if consuming these phytochemicals in appropriate amounts causes health issues for you, that's just indicative of an underlying health issue that you might want to get to the root of, and eliminating these things doesn't eliminate that health issue. So that's Marissa's short rant on vegetables as hormetic stressors. And with that brings us to the end of this very long overview of a lot of things that you can do to slow or even reverse the process of aging. Make sure you do check out Qualia Senolytic. Go to neurohacker.com/fitandnerdy and use the code FitAndNerdy to get yourself an additional 15% off. I am really so genuinely excited to be using it. I'm a huge fan of Neurohacker and have been for a very long time. And it's so nice to be able to do something so quickly and easily, like 2 days a month, to take such like huge preventative steps towards aging, and that I know is going to really help me live the long, happy, healthy life that I want to live. So check it out. Let me know your thoughts on this video. I want to do more content on like longevity and aging and health span and all of that. So I feel like this is just opening the can of worms. Let's dive into this can of worms and talk about specific worms. Let me know what worms you want me to talk about, because I absolutely love this. This lights me up. This is like my passion. So let me know if you like this video, if you want more content like this. If you did, please give it a big thumbs up. It really does support me and my channel. I really genuinely appreciate it. Please share this video with your friends, your family, your gym buddies, maybe older people in your family that would maybe benefit from some anti-aging help. If you want to see more content free all about health and fitness, you can check it out over here. See future videos, make sure you hit that little subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you're notified when I post a video, and I will see you very soon. Bye.